You know, sometimes when I make these videos, I feel like I'm simply responding to a absence in reality. And I wonder if that's how Snowden felt. That's how the folks felt when they were talking about cigarettes being bad, needing a Surgeon General's warning. I wonder that's how people felt with the Pentagon Papers. I'm not a leaker. I don't have access to top secret information. I'm just a guy that's read some books, and I'm a guy that's listened to some people who I think are intellectuals. I am not an intellectual, and I make that very clear. If you just now watching my video, I'm not intellectual. I'm just a guy that's read a few books, man. Some of the people I look at, Last Michael Vagabond and others, you probably would be, surprised that I would listen to these people in the mornings because they're not really socialist. They're not really for the same agenda. Last America Vagabond and some other folks remind me of Alex Jones before Trump. Alex Jones he's a conservative, but he was talking about pollution. He was talking about the WTO. He was talking about globalism. He was talking about these wars being, fought on lies. And I mean, he basically went all the way up to the white man being the devil without saying it. If you watch his videos, you watch his movies, I'm not going to get rid of his movies. I've got Terror Storm at home. And I'll tell anybody that. I've got Terror Storm. I've got the Obama Deception. I've got, Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. I've got all those movies. I think it's Terror Storm. Yeah. In the beginning, it's got like a timeline, a bloody timeline. And it's just showing you all of America and NATO's war crimes. I'm going to show my kids that one day. I mean that. I'm not going to get rid of those movies just because Alex Jones chose to go all the way fascist. Alex Jones allowed Professor Griff to speak in Obama Deception. And I like Professor Griff. So that way, he got me on some people I didn't even know about. Sometimes, people can... I want to talk about, for a second, what violence in this country could look like if Trump is impeached or Trump is not reelected. That's what I want to talk about in this movie. I want to talk about that. And I want to put that against some of the things we've been seeing in this country and overseas. We've been watching these mass shooters. And one thing that bothers me is that it's become normalized. Mass shootings have become normalized, and it's kind of okay. I remember I was on the road. It started before I quit and came off the road, and there was like 16 or 10 bomb threats in one day. And I was like, wow. I'm like, what? How can the police, Charlotte police? I'm not even sure NYPD could keep up with that many bomb threats. And give each one of them that full court press, which is getting enough officers to create a safe zone, getting the fire department to evacuate people, getting the bomb squad, getting supervised. I ain't talking about just get the bag and move it. I mean the full court. You can't do that. After 4 or 5 of them, I think you know. Now, I am really concerned. I am a person that's followed this trail of blood that I attribute to Trump, the Pittsburgh mass shooting, Las Vegas, the one over there in New Zealand. I ain't forgot about that one. And the one you had down there in Texas. There's one in California, too, that wasn't really a mass shooting. I have followed these shootings. And I'm concerned. And one thing I'm going to tell you, I believe a lot of these guys are organized. No doubt. Not all of them, but enough of them are organized. I watched these videos. I think you guys seen it. The West Point game where they're doing this, and all this. And I remember I was hearing white people talk about how the OK sign, this, why, they're getting triggered about everything. And this is what white people do. Trying to downplay racism. Trying to downplay oppression. Trying to downplay what we all know to be violence. Trying to downplay things we know are terroristic in nature. This is what they do. It's kind of like when they talk about social stuff and they're like, oh, they just want to give all the money to gay people and stuff. And it's like, no. I just want good roads. I just want the EPA to be able to cut down on pollution and stuff like that. And we heard recently about this neighborhood in Texas, Cashmere Gardens. It was a cancer cluster. All these people were getting sick. I want them to be able to investigate that. I want a system that investigates these things. People go to jail if it's proven. I want clean water. I want good roads. You know what I mean? And all you can do is talk about gay people. This is the spirit of the fascist. And this is the mind of the oppressor. That's how they think. They're always trying to downplay mass shootings. And you know what's crazy is, I was a libertarian. I believe in small government. And I believe in small government because I think government has its issues. I think there's no doubt some of these liberal big cities, you have had corruption. Oh yeah. Kwame Kilpatrick, the dailies in Chicago. Yes, I'm not trying to glorify or lionize these people. Not at all. But I understand that for these white men, all they care about is carrying a gun everywhere they can and low taxes. That's all. They don't care about nobody else when it comes down. Not a lot of them. Not a lot. Not all. But there's a whole lot of them like that. They just want to be able to carry a gun everywhere and low taxes. That's it, man. They don't want no emission controls. And it ain't about science with them. That's why I realized about these Trump people too. This is the unwashed redneck masses. And this is what happens when you have a whole bunch of people who say, fuck the science. We don't care about anybody. We don't care about the environment. We don't care. This is basically like the guy in the business that's stealing money. That's Trump supporters. They're the guy that's in the bank that's stealing money. Everybody else in the bank is working, and people in the bank are like, okay, we've got to look at the future. We've got to think about our future customers. Like the area becoming more black or more Asian. And in 10 years, this will be, mostly Asian. And people are like, okay, we've got to, we got to do outreach and stuff to, in the community. And this one guy's like, no, fuck it. I'm going to just steal all the money and you bitch can't do anything about it. That's your Trump supporters. So they are. This is what it is. The Caucasian is saying, I'm not going to follow the rules. That's what calling the police on black people is all about. That's what all is about. It's not about anything, any legitimate gain. It's just about, fuck it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want because I have white privilege and you don't. And notice that I'm not even pretending about it anymore. So you had this guy, I'm going to upset you had that guy on the MAGA fighter that fought that migrant guy, got his ass whooped. And he went on, I guess he was talking to Candace Owens on radio, and he was talking about how he told the Brazilians, you're dirty, stinking animals. He's like, that's not racist because the guy used it in Home Alone. Explain something. You can't compare it to Home Alone. Home Alone was a movie about a little boy. Home Alone fending off two burglars, two hoodlums that had broken into his house to kill him. It doesn't really go into what it was. It was comedy, but that's pretty scary. You're a grown man. You're a grown boxer. You're a white man that is choosing to align himself with a fascist. You went to these people's country and called them dirty, stinking animals. And you have the audacity to try to compare it to Home Alone. Macaulay Culkin should come out and slap your ass behind that bullshit. I mean, this is what white people do, though. This is how they think. And you have white people out here right now that will say, yeah, you're right, it is in the movie. Yeah. Different context. It's like nigga. It's different context. Everybody knows but white people. Everybody knows this but crackers. Everybody knows this. Getting back on the subject. I don't talk about the impeachment stuff. I don't focus on it. I don't watch any of the hearings and stuff. No, I could. I don't. Too busy catching up on house music and stuff. Sorry. But if they get somewhere with, if it gets censored or impeached, that's awesome. That's great, guys. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to be out of a dime or a dollar, and I'm not betting anything on that. I'm not. I'm looking at the big picture, hoping that they get enough information out there so that Trump looks so bad he can't be reelected. But something I think about probably once, at least every other day, is the possibility of violence. I think about the possibility of serious, significant violence to this country. And I told my dad, he's like, "Oh, they're not going to do civil war." No, they're not going to do civil war. Because once the military gets into it, they'll stop that shit. Yeah, that shit will be stopped post haste. Not talking about that. I'm talking about. See, you know why they talk like that on InfoWars and stuff? Well, we're going to take our country back and all that. Well, all these mass shooters are doing that. If you want to be honest, they're going back to what their ancestors done. They've used law for so long to keep black people down. Mandatory minimums, marijuana laws, all this they've done. They've done all kind of tricky ass bullshit to lock us up. Now that's ending. Or certain things can't be done anymore. So now that that's happening, they're getting frustrated. So they're going back to what they've originally done, which is straight, pure, unadulterated violence and killing, which is what their ancestors done anyway. Yeah. That's what they done in the past. Just go shoot up whole crowds. There's nothing new about white men massacring people. Nothing new about that. I said that before. That's as American as apple pie. Police brutality. I am seriously concerned. Well, we'll go back to it. When I made the point about the bombs in Charlotte, the bomb threats in Charlotte, my thought was, to do that, there's probably some sort of organized group operating. Now, that's hypothetical. Hypothetical, guys. So you had major networks all over the country. We all know about the Adam Waffen group, the Army. Let's say they're out here. They've got little splinter cells out here talking to people. Let's say something kicks off. That could happen. I mean, this probably sounds dark for me. It probably sounds very dark for me to be talking like this. There's no low these white folks won't go to. There's no low. It doesn't get any darker. I said it before. I did not know before Trump this country could be this nasty. I didn't. I never expected it to be as nasty as it is. I got a lesson. Stuff is like that. Got a lesson. The ferocity, the viciousness of these white men is something very different. I've spoke about the case you had the white man come from Baltimore on the bus from Washington, D.C., came to New York to kill a black man. And he talking about how he hated interracial marriages and he was stalking black men. I didn't even notice, told my dad, I didn't even notice. He was stalking them for about 3 or 4 days before he killed anybody. He killed a black man, then killed a homeless man. These short swords killed him, stabbed him up. I think after that, he kept stalking. He ended up turning himself in because he realized it was all these interracial marriages and stuff, interracial relationships. He knew he was lost. That kind of stuff exists. And that's why I say the superiority of a white man. I mean, my working with white people, they're very obsessive. They're very obsessive. And if you think being obsessive makes you a better employee, then hey, I guess you are. I'm like Ice-T told that Ben Stabler in SVU. You're a good detective, but you're also a pretty, what makes you good at that makes you a poor human being. Not all of them. You got a lot of them like that out here. I know for myself, if Trump gets pardoned, if Trump gets impeached, and like that day I'll be carrying hot. Yeah, that day I'll be carrying hot. Extra mags, shotgun loaded, whatever I'm doing that day, I'll be ready. No doubt. If I had a vest, I'd have a vest in the car. That day I'll be ready. Real talk. Because these white folks have shown you so clearly that they're not playing. That they're not willing to deal with us. They're not willing to live in brotherhood. That's what I've seen. They're not willing to live in brotherhood. That's done with. They're not even interested in that. And I tell you, I'm not a racist. Yeah, I had a Russian friend. I had 2 Romanian friends. I had a Chinese friend. I had a Native American friend. I've dated white women. I'm not a racist, guys. I had a damn friend of mine, Clay, lived in Texas. I am not a racist in any way. I want to be clear about that. 100% clear about that. And like I said, brotherhood to me means living in harmony with others. A lot of these white folks they're not going to live in harmony with you. They're not going to work with you. They're not interested in that. And like I told my dad, I'm done being a bigger man. I'm done turning the cheek. I'm done with all the forgiveness. I'm done with that, man. What are you forgiving? You're forgiving people who are disrespecting you, know they're doing it, and they continue doing it. What? That doesn't make sense. That's not that's being weak. Forgiveness is you step on my toe. You say, I'm sorry, man. Okay, I forgive you. Keep on. Forgiveness is not people who disrespect you. I'm not being a bigger person. I'm done with that. I'm done with I'm done with that, man. I was done with that shit months ago. Being a bigger man and all that. You being a bigger man to who? To what? To a system that's been doing what it's been doing as long as I've been alive now. No, that's done with, man. But it really does concern me that I wonder if police departments are ready for that. I wonder if the military preparing for that, because you could get some serious confrontation in this country in a very short period of time. You could get a serious shutdown. You could get serious violence. Once again, I don't think it'd be like Civil War stuff. It'd just be a period of instability. That's what I think. You get a period of instability. You know, that's real. I guess I probably should get some more batteries for my TLR6. Yeah, I should get some more batteries for it and stuff. But yeah, I should do that. Get some more hollow points and stuff. This is my fucking Full Metal Jacket rounds. These are my jacketed rounds. I left my hollow points at home. That's the Clear magazine. Yeah. What would I do? If something, I'd get my. So I'm tempted whether I want to get my AR, get another barrel for it, or if I just want to get some like vest stuff. That's something I think about too. Yeah. Get some kind of ballistic vest. You can get them pretty cheap. The plates and all that. I've thought about that too. You know, it's come to my mind. What would I do in a situation? I don't know. Peace out.